Respected friends, welcome you all for our this attempt of 1 hour of sadhana of trying to bring our faculties intact, integrated into our command and direct them towards the divinity and thereby create that divine atmosphere in us and maintain it. We do every day Vedic chanting, common sense thought, mantrocharana with dhyana, Mangalacharana shloka with sankalpa, Upanishad mantra ucharana, Upanishad mantra adhyanam. The Upanishad we are studying is Shwethashwathara, last sixth chapter. We are into the second mantra, wherein the Swarupa Swabhava of that Paramatma, who is the sole cause of the entire Vishwa Chakra or Kala Chakra or Brahma Chakra. Realizing Him in our heart is the way for moksha. Don't try to think or understand about any other way for moksha because it is not there. All this we do to invoke the Parabrahma Ishvara Jagannatha Devata Gana Guru Gana Shastra Gana Anugraha. Then our Loka Sevaka Dharma Sthavaka Adi Vyaktitwas also. We have to slowly understand their need and we have to blossom them, do the vikas of them and express ourselves that way in the world outside so that we are an asset to the world, which in turn blesses us to be qualified for spirituality. Mantra today we chant or the Vedic chanting is the Navagraha Suktam. Just involve, remember the Navagrahas have their influence on all of us and me especially at all my layers of personality, Stula Sukshma Karana. If we can propitiate them through various upasanas and such chants, definitely our mistakes are forgiven and we are empowered for our journey. With this Shraddha, knowing that we are worshipping the Navagrahas through this mantra, let us chant consciously. Om Athaveda Parayanam Navagraha ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये ॐ भूः ॐ भुवः ॐ सुवः ॐ महः ॐ जनः ॐ तपः ॐ सत्यम् ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ओमापो ज्योतिरसोमृतं ब्रह्मभूर्भुवः सुवरोम ॐ मम उपात्त समस्तदुरितक्षयद्वारा श्रीपरमेश्वरप्रीत्यर्थम् आदित्यादिनवग्रहदेवता प्रसादसिद्ध्यर्थम् आदित्यादिनवग्रहनमस्कारान् करिष्ये ॐ आसत्येन रजसा वर्तमानो निवेशयन्नमृतं मर्त्यं च हिरण्ययेन सवितारथेना देवो याति भुवना विपश्यन् अग्निं दोतं वृणीमहे होतारं विश्ववेदसम् अस्य यज्ञस्य सुक्रतुं येषामीशे पशुपतिः पशूनां चतुष्पदामुत च द्विपदाम् निष्क्रितोऽयं यज्ञियं भागमेतु रायस्पोषाय जमानस्य सन्तु ॐ अधिदेवता प्रत्यधिदेवता सहिताय आदित्याय नमः ॐ आप्यायस्व समेतु ते विश्वतः सोमवृष्णियं भवावाजस्य संगते अप्सु मे सोमो अब्रवीदन्तर्विश्वानि भेषजा अग्निं च विश्वशम्भुवमापश्च विश्वभेषजीः गौरीमिमाय सलिलानितक्षत्येकपदी द्विपदी सा चतुष्पदी अष्टापदी नवपदी बभूवुषि सहस्राक्षरा परमे व्योमन् ॐ अधिदेवता प्रत्यधिदेवता सहिताय सोमाय नमः। ॐ अग्निमूर्धादिवः ककुत्पतिः पृथिव्या अयम् अपागं रेतागं सिजिन्वति स्योना पृथिवी भवान् रुक्षरा निवेशनी यच्छा न शर्म सप्रथाः क्षेत्रस्य पतिना वयगं हितेनेव जयामसि गामश्वं पोषयित्वा स नो मृडातीदृशे ॐ अधिदेवता प्रत्यधिदेवता सहिताय अंगारकाय नमः। ॐ उद्बुद्ध्य स्वाग्ने प्रतिजागृह्येन मिष्टापूर्ते सगं सृजेथा मयं च पुनः कृण्वग्गस्त्वा पितरं युवानमन्वातागं सीत्वयि तन्तुमेतम् इदं विष्णुर्विचक्रमे त्रेधा निदधे पदम् समूढमस्य पागं सुरे विष्णोरराटमसि विष्णोः पृष्ठमसि विष्णोष्णप्त्रे स्थो विष्णोस्यूरसि विष्णोर्ध्रुवमसि वैष्णवमसि विष्णवे त्वा ॐ अधिदेवता प्रत्यधिदेवता सहिताय बुधाय नमः। ॐ बृहस्पते अतियदर्यो अर्हाद्युमद्विभाति क्रतुमज्जनेषु यद्दीदयच्च वसर्त प्रजात तदस्मासु द्रविडं देहि चित्रम् इन्द्रमरुत्व इह पाहि सोमं यथा शार्याते अपिबस्सुतस्य तव प्रणीति तव शूरशर्मन्ना विवासन्ति कवयः सुयज्ञाः ब्रह्मजज्ञानं प्रथमं पुरस्ताद्विसीमतः सुरुचो वेन आवह स बुध्निया उपमा अस्य विष्टा सतश्च योनिमसतश्च विवह ॐ अधिदेवता प्रत्यधिदेवता सहिताय बृहस्पतये नमः। ॐ प्रवः शुक्राय भानवे भरध्वं हव्यं मतिं चाग्नये सुपूतम् यो दैव्यानि मानुषा जनोगंशे अन्तर्विश्वानि विद्मना जिगाति इन्द्राणि मासु नारिषु सुपत्नीमहमश्रवं न ह्यस्या अपरञ्च न जरसा मरते पतिः इन्द्रं वो विश्वतस्परिहवामहे जनेभ्यः अस्माकमस्तु केवलः ॐ अधिदेवता प्रत्यधिदेवता सहिताय शुक्राय नमः। ॐ शन्नो देवी रविष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये शं यो रविस्रवन्तु नः प्रजापतेन त्वदेतान्यन्यो विश्वा जातानि परिता बभूव यत्कामास्तेजुहुमस्तन्नो अस्तु वयग्गस्यामपतयोरयीणाम् इमं यमप्रस्तरमाहि सीदाङ्गिरोभिः पितृभिः संविधानः आत्वा मन्त्राः कविशस्तावहन्त्वेनाराजन् हविषामादयस्व ॐ अधिदेवता प्रत्यधिदेवता सहिताय शनैश्चराय नमः। ॐ कयानश्चित्र आभुवदूते सदा वृधः सखा कया शचिष्ठया वृता आयङ्गौः पृश्निरक्रमीदसनन् मातरं पुनः पितरं च प्रयन्सुवः यत्ते देवे निर्वृतिरावबन्धदाम ग्रीवास्वविचर्त्यम् इदं ते तद्विष्याम्यायुषो न मध्या तथा जीवः पितुमद्धि प्रमुक्तः ॐ अधिदेवता प्रत्यधिदेवता सहिताय राहवे नमः। ॐ केतुं कृण्वन्न केतवेपेशो मर्या अपेशसे समुषद्भिरजायथाः ब्रह्मा देवानां पदवीः कवीनां ऋषिर्विप्राणां महिषो मृगाणां शेनो गृध्रा नागस्वदितिर्वना नागः पवित्रमत्येतिरेभन्न सचित्रचित्रं चितयन्तमस्मे चित्रक्षत्रचित्रतमं वयोधाम चन्द्रं रयिं पुरुवीरं बृहन्तं चन्द्रचन्द्राभिर्गृणते युवस्व ॐ अधिदेवता प्रत्यधिदेवता सहितेभ्यः केतुभ्यो नमः ओमादित्यादिनवग्रहदेवताभ्यो नमो नमः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Friends, in our today's second aspect of common sense thought, after enjoying our offerings through the Veda Mantra Ucharana, in that common sense thought, so simple is that animals don't evolve. Therefore, those who don't evolve are animals. Human beings are expected to evolve. Therefore, if the human beings are not evolving, they are not human beings. Why human beings can evolve? Why animals cannot evolve? The reason is we can evolve. To know this, the faculty that which is required, the abilities that are required, the guidances that are required are not available to animals and are available to human beings. And that faculty is the buddhi and its inquiry. The buddhi has to be utilized, and we have to think about, and we have to recognize the possibility of evolution, and then recognize all the means to make it possible. And what is the evolution is? Only one, that is spiritual. है ना? For this spiritual evolution, so many things we have to do, technically called as sadhanas. And the only thing is why we are not convinced about doing sadhanas, why we are not interested about doing sadhanas. Same time, why we are always inclined not to do sadhana but do something else. Again, there also, the reason is one, and our buddhi is not utilized there properly. So, what is expected out of us is to become or to be a yogi, and what continuously we do and involve is the bhogi. So, as long as in us the bhogi is predominant, the yogi will always be suppressed. That's what the present situation in us, isn't it? So, therefore, we have to slowly reduce the bhogi in us and increase the yogi in us. Yogi is the entire spiritual sadhana. So, three important things. One, it is possible. Second, it is required. And third, in being a yogi alone, there is more and more sukha, more and more shanti, more and more ananda. That we have, this we have to recognize. And in being bhogi, we are humiliating ourselves, insulting all our opportunities, and misusing all the possibilities. When with our intellect we think in this line, we understand it consciously by becoming absolutely introverted and subjective, then we slowly give up to be continuously a bhogi and to take up continuously to be a yogi. In short, as we time and again talk about these two words technical. One is the gunadrushti, second is the dosha as long as we have the gunadrushti in the bhoga, we will never give up that. As long as we have the dosha drushti in the yoga, so long we will not take up the yoga. When we reverse it with our intellection, that is what is our maturity, that is what is our genius, that is what is our purushartha self effort, that is what is the right utilization of our buddhi. that which is given for this purpose alone. So, becoming conscious, becoming subject, becoming subjective, becoming aware of my present life, and recognizing that it is full of bhoga only, then by discovering all the doshas, by discovering all the fallacies or all the shortcomings or all the losses, etc., in this bhoga jivana, slowly we have to wean away from it. As we saw in Gita yesterday, today also we'll see Yada te buddhi moha kalilam tarishyat. Hey Arjuna. In Gita we are seeing that only. Our buddhi, our discriminating faculty, should tarishyati transcend, go beyond what moha kalilam. What is the moha? Finding the sukhata, finding gunata in being bhogi, in being samsari, in being worldly, in being extroverted, in being jiva, in being identified with upadhis, in being a person of putting efforts for the gains of the outer world. You know, that gunadrushti in all this is called as moha kalilam. In fact, there is no guna, there is only dosha in that. What is the biggest dosha? That I am always conditioned to be a jiva with the upadhi, and I have to dance to the tunes of the upadhi. Their janma is my janma, their suffering is my suffering, their death is my death, and their demands are my demands, their miseries are my miseries. What is the guna in being a bhogi, in being a samsari? A temporary little pleasures, that's it. How much we are stuck up in that because of our not using the faculty of thinking, isn't it? See the people of the world and worldliness, how much they are lost in the artha and kama and bhoga, as if that alone the purushartha. We too are same. Apart from this class time, throughout the day, what we are doing, isn't it? Therefore, become aware, know that I am a bhogi, and use the intellect and discover all the doshas in being a bhogi, and thus from within feel enough of it to be a bhogi, to be extroverted. Nobody can do it for us. I only have to. And nobody in the world in our vicinity are doing it. Therefore, there's nobody to inspire us. We have to seek the people who inspire us, who are in this path. Not just take the example of the people around us. We have not even started to be a human being only. Forget about starting to become a sadhak. They are all living an animalistic life of kill, loot, plunder, defeat, cheat others for one's own bhoga. Animals do that, isn't it? Animals are not educated, we are educated. Animals don't wear suit, boot, coat, we wear them. Animals don't talk the sophisticated languages of English, etc. Animals, they don't construct house and stay there. Animals don't drive vehicles. That's only difference. Otherwise, as much they attack each other, kill each other, loot each other, so too the whole human beings are misusing their intelligence and genius only to live like animals. From such people, those who are still living like animal only, not even have come to the human level, how can we expect some guidance from them, some inspiration from them? They will live like that only. How can they be an example to us? Rather, we, by being our, by using our intellect, choosing the right path, we should become an example to them. That's why the need of being in the company of wise and saints and sages, and reading such a great Purana Itihasa in which there are the noble characters who have become yogis, giving up the bhogatva. They inspire us. For the sake of inspiration continuous, that we have to keep on studying our Puranas and see the noble characters. One aspect is this. Second aspect is again utilize the intellect and think about all the gunas in being yogi. isn't it? When I become yogi, that means spiritual. From human, I am evolving to the divine, to the more and more higher, greater, deeper sense of fulfillment, sense of happiness, sense of what is a bliss. Think about all the gunas in being spiritual. So when I evolve spiritually in trying to discover my own self, all my identities with the upadhis, because I give them up, all the samsara is there only at that level. The samsara of janma, jara, roga, mrityu, they won't affect me, they won't touch me. I myself, with my intellect given, have to discover these gunas in Adhyatmikata. Then only I'll be inspired from within myself to be Adhyatmika, to be a yogi. And then also take the third aspect into account that this human life is oozing away one by one moment. It's not the Kala which is going, it is not the clock which is clocking, it is our opportunity as a human being is ending. Kalo nayato vayameva yata. Therefore, with all the maturity, with all the soberness, with all the sublimity, we have to take up this conscious commitment that from this moment onwards, no more bhogi in me. From this moment onwards, I'll be deeply, intensely involved in my yoga sadhanas to become yogi. Consciously. Not like today that so superficial we are as regards our being Adhyatmic sadhaka is concerned. Just very superficial only for some time when we are in the class. That also maximum at some listening level we are there. That's not sufficient. And that's what Tulsidas ji Kamihi nari piyari jimi lobihi priya jimi dama. Timi Raghunatha Nirantara Priyalago Moirama. That way, that's called a Tivra Mumuksha. That I want to get liberated from my bondage of upadhis. Then Tivra Jignasa. That I have to discover my infinite self and identify with it and experience that bliss. For that, whatever I have to do to pull myself from the world, whatever I have to do to bring the faculty in the antakarana to single pointedness, whatever I have to do to make it purified, whatever I have to do to make it subtle, and whatever I have to do to utilize that subtle intellect in contemplating on the theme of the Upanishad, that's Brahman, that alone I will involve from this very moment, come what may. Let it cost anything. Let anything can be the price. I am ready to pay. Any sacrifice required, I will do that. I'll be totally get lost and drowned in my Adhyatmika sadhana and pragati only from this moment for the rest of my life so that when I look back, there will be joy and contentment in me. May not be because of I reached the ultimate goal, but because I have tried seriously, sincerely, if not the entire life, at least from that moment, the 26th October 2025, I took a strong decision and thereby I tried myself the best to be in this path. I sincerely attended my classes. I seriously studied that subject. I intensely contemplated. I deeply meditated. I truly tried my best. Not even a moment I wasted, and I have already given up all the nonsense of being a bogey. See that satisfaction? Imagine 2025, this is 2030 comes. When you look back, these 5 years, if you are fully spent in this type of sadhana, and when we do sadhana, definitely there is depth, there is a growth, there will be sublime experiences. And look from that standpoint, right now only, how elating it will be, how blissful it will be. We have almost transcended the samsara. अब नहीं करो sadhana, become inadvertent, continue the same life of laziness, continue the same life of being a bhogi, extroverted, continue the same life of giving involved into importance only to the things and beings, always in that mood. अब तब जाकर क्या बनोगे 5 साल के बाद? More and more samsari. more and more bahirmukhata, more and more upadhitadatmya, more and more vasanas created again to get next life also this type of prarabdha of fully being worldly. क्या हम ये चाहते हैं? At least those who are regular. Think about it. So therefore, not be animal, be a human. As a human, use intellect. With the intellect used, understand what level of life we are living. It is a bhoga jivana. As a human, that's not correct. We have to be a yogi because human life is given for that purpose. So to get ourselves freed from being a bhogi and to get ourselves fully engaged in being a yogi, there the dosha drishti and here the guna drishti. And it's a continuous, constant process. And with this guna dosha drishti, when we have rejected the worldliness and taken up the spirituality, be practical also. And what inspires us is I am human being, I am given life, I don't know how long I will be living. From this moment, let me fully involved in that. Be absolutely, utterly conscious, isn't it? With all our decisions to be a yogi, still the bhoga samskaras, bhoga vasanas, bhoga habits try to pull me there. The ability to say no to them and the ability to take up one by one sadhana, doing them, doing them continuously, constantly, intensely, seriously. This is how there's a fulfillment in our life. कि खुद को ऐसा निर्णय लेकर करना होता है go on waiting nobody will come to help us. Why will anybody come when I myself am not helping myself? Isn't it? In the biggest challenge to human being and problem also for the human being and stupidity of human being is he is not helping himself. By knowing the ability or the Purushartha Samarthya and by not using it for the right purpose. I can get up. I must get up. I shall get up in the morning. I can, I must, I shall do my morning sadhanas. I can, I shall, and I must attend my classes. See that? In that way, when the deep commitments are there from within, deep, the willpowers are there from within, and practically when we do, ultimately remember one thing any amount of intellectual apprehensions, understandings are not going to help unless they become practical. We have to be practically sadhaka, then only will become practically anubhavi and mukta, not by only theory. So the dosha drushti should help us to get freed from being a bhogi, and guna drushti should help us in taking up the yoga sadhana. The yoga is only one thing for us to realize the ultimate truth. For reaching that, whatever is required are the sadhanas, whether they are karma yogas, they are bhakti yogas, whether they are ashtanga yogas, whether they are shravana, manana, nididhyasana, was totally in this. And justifying that I am grahastha and I have so many obligations, I have to attend so many things I have taken up, I have to fulfill them up, then it is all our own thoughts, isn't it? Of our own mind. Nobody told us all this. We only thought, we only decide, and we only become samsar. वो सारे justifications को हमें change करना है. Enough of that. Any number of times, n number of times also, when these things are done, it remains that same. Every time when I involve in, I become more stronger a bhogi, I become more weaker a yogi. Enough. Isn't it? हर बार हम जिस जगत में फंसते हैं ना, हमारे अंदर भोगी स्ट्रांग होते जाता है और योगी वीक होता जाता है. Like when you come to the class, the sadhaka in you becomes stronger. Moment the class is over, till the next class comes, the samsara is stronger. That's why involved in the world and worldliness. Some of you may be taking up sadhana more deeply, intensely. That's what is expected. That's what is hinted at. So, secretly, silently, harnessing all our inner potentialities, invoking all the graces divine from the Lord and Guru, let us become a yogi. Tasmat yogi bhava Arjuna. In that 6th chapter, last but one shloka, 46th, Bhagavan says that only Arjuna, become a yogi, not a bhogi. All what Arjuna spoke in first chapter is just being a bhogi. And a bhogi lives at the level of upadhis as a jiva indulging in the outer world. Yogi gives up the outer world, transcends the upadhis and realizes his essential self. Think again and again, think and be inspired and get into this highway of Adhyatmic sadhana and settle in the travel in the proper speed and see to it that the time and distance are covered and the destination is reached. May it happen to all of us. This is our today's common sense thought, friends. Thank you. Now, today our mantra ucharana is Bhagwan Shri Nrsimha Narasimha. Nrsimha Narasimha. Good mantra, powerful mantra. Lakshmi Nrsimha Bhagavan, if we can invoke his grace, can eliminate our own inner Hiranyakashapu, the Jiva, the Samsari, who holds on to the Hiranya, the money, Kashapu, the power. And also he can eliminate the outer Hiranyakashapu in the form of things and beings who tempt us, trouble us, distract us, bind us, create obstacles. And Hiranyakashipu, Bhagavan Lakshmi Nrsimha, when invoked, he can create, sustain, develop, and bless the Prahlada in us. Halada means Ananda. Prahlada means the ultimate Ananda. Four sons Hiranyakashipu had. Last name is Prahlada. All other three also Halada, Samhlada, and one more name and Prahlada. Prahlada is the fourth son. So the Prahlada in us be both Bhakta Prahlada and Tattva Jnani Prahlada will be empowered, energized, strengthened in us by Bhagavan Lakshmi Nrsimha if we can pray to him. So mantra is very simple. Om Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham Nrsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrutyor Mrutyum Namamyaham. So Ugram, most ferocious, because the lion is ferocious. Veeram, with so much of the power and valor. Mahavishnu, he is avatar of the Vishnu only, the Sarva Vyapaka Paramatma. Jwalantam, full of bright, blazing, fiery. Sarvato Mukham, in all directions to burn away our impurities, negativities, and enemies. Nrsimham, who is in the form of the body of the Nara and the head of the Simha. Bhishanam, again terrible. Bhadram, but giver of the Mangalata, Bhadrata, auspiciousness to the Bhaktas. Mrutyoho Mrutyum. Mrutyum Mrutyum or Mrutyor Mrutyum. We'll chant as Mrutyor Mrutyum, who is the death to the even the death also. Aham Namami, I salute him. A very good mantra, powerful mantra to ward away outer and inner enemies. Nrsimha, Namaskar. Even our Adi Shankara Bhagavan also, though he has written stotrams on all devatas, particularly he has to do Nrsimha Upasana more. That's why Nrsimha Bhaktaya Namaha comes in his Ashtottara Shatanama. And we study all our Upanishads, Prakarana Granthas, commented by Bhagavan Adi Shankara only. Okay, now chant this mantra for 12 times. Remembering Bhagavan Nrsimha in the heart, he is seated in Simhasana. We have done the Shodashopachara Puja to his feet. Then we are praying to him through this stuti, asking him to eliminate the inner and outer Hiranyakashapu and establish the Bhakta and Jnani and Mukta Prahlada in us. Om Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham Nrsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrutyor Mrutyum Namamyaham. Om Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham नृसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युं नमाम्यहम्। ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युं नमाम्यहम्। ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युं नमाम्यहम्। ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युं नमाम्यहम्। ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युं नमाम्यहम्। ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युं नमाम्यहम्। ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युं नमाम्यहम्। ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युं नमाम्यहम्। ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युं नमाम्यहम्। ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युं नमाम्यहम्। ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्योर्मृत्युं नमाम्यहम्। ॐ नमो भगवते श्रीलक्ष्मीनारसिंहाय प्रह्लादाय च। ॐ नमो भगवते श्रीलक्ष्मीनारसिंहाय प्रह्लादाय च। ॐ नमो भगवते श्रीलक्ष्मीनारसिंहाय प्रह्लादाय च। ॐ वज्रनखाय विद्महे तीक्ष्णदग्गष्ट्राय धीमहि तन्नो नारसिंहः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ श्रीलक्ष्मीनृसिंह परमात्मने नमः। मां रक्ष रक्ष परिपालय परिपालय। अत्र स्थित हिरण्यकशिपुं संहर संहर प्रह्लादमुद्दीपयोद्दीपय भक्तिज्ञानमुक्तिं प्रयच्छ प्रयच्छ। Yes, now let us come to our mantras, Sankalpa, Upanishad, etc. ॐ ॐ ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ॐ यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वम् ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं ॐ निधये सर्वविद्यानां ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् ॐ करुणावरुणालय पालय माम् ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदम् ॐ परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः। सङ्कल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन तस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्षकैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्तिविश्व आध्यात्मिकप्रगत्यर्थं धर्मसंस्थापकानां निरन्तर दिग्विजयः श्रीराममन्दिरवत् शिवकृष्णादिमन्दिरादीनां पुनर्वाप्ति तेषु निरन्तरशास्त्राध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तरशत्रुविघ्न समूलनिर्मूलनपूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिकहैन्दव संस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्षपुरुषार्थानां सुसम्प्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थमस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां सङ्कल्पितसत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्मसाफल्यार्थं कृष्णयजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आद्यशङ्करभाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्नं मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ॐ नित्यानन्दं निराधारं निखिलाधारमव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकण्ठं नमाम्यहम्। ॐ पारायणमथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः। Can we chant from mantra number what? uh, 19 onwards. 19, 20, 21, 22. Om नैनमूर्ध्वं न तिर्यं च न मध्ये परिजग्रभत न तस्य प्रतिमा अस्ति यस्य नाम महद्यशः न सन्दृशे तिष्ठति रूपमस्य न चक्षुषा पश्यति कश्चनैनं हृदा हृदि स्थं मनसा य एनम् एवं विदुरमृतास्ते भवन्ति अजात इत्येवं कश्चिद्भीरुः प्रपद्यते रुद्रते यत् ते दक्षिणं मुखं तेन मां पाहि नित्यं मानस्तोके तनये मान आयुषे मानो गोषु मानो अश्वेषु रीरिषः वीरान्मानो रुद्रभामितो वधीः हविष्मन्तः सदमित्वा हवामहे. Tomorrow we'll chant the fifth chapter. Now the sixth chapter study. The first mantra we have seen. Second we have to do the Sambandha Bhashya. For the second mantra is कि महिमानं प्रपंचयति. The Mahima of that Ishvara, Parameshwara, who is the one because of whom entire Srishti Sthiti Laya are happening and not by anyone else. Kala Swabhava Niyatir Yadrucha Bhuta Niyoni Purusha iti Chintya. None of them are cause for the entire Srishti Sthiti Laya. He is the single sole cause. At a lower level of our life, the individualities, their sankalpas, their karma, their phala, all of them may be accepted. But at higher level, it is Ishvara Leela that all jivas are going through whatever. Otherwise, the Ishwaratva of the Ishvara will be questioned. Then, even going beyond that, even that also are not there. He is intact in his own pristine spiritual Sarupa of Satchidananda. So Mahimanam Prapanchayati. So the Mahima of that Paramatma is hinted at through this shloka and the words. Whatever is said and whatever is unsaid, all of that we have to understand. And what is the purpose of all this? Always in our mind, the Sakala Mahima Yukta Ishvara should be there, or the Sakala Mahima Atita Parabrahma must be there in our vision, in our contemplation, in our worship. other than the Parabrahma, other than Ishvara. Any other devatas or the worldly things are our own individuality. When they are given undue importance, we are in ignorance, we are in samsara, we are in delusion. Click होना चाहिए. That's the meaning of सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य मामेकम शरणम. That is the meaning of ananyaha chintayantu mam ejana paryupas. That is the meaning of manmana bhava madbhakto. See that? The meaning of all those mantras is this only, that always we are in the worship of the Mahima Yukta Ishvara, or meditation and realization of the Mahima Atita Brahma. Whole thing is his Mahima only. Nothing in the world can be independent. Refuse to give credit to anything in this world, anybody in this world. Yesterday we have seen, even in the evening class also, Yoga Vasista, that whatever we give value to in this world, for them even to exist also, the Satta is given by Paramatma. So, without Paramatma Satta, they don't even exist. Then how can they be the doers, performers, achievers? Then how can you give them the credit? Whether it is Kala, whether it is Prakriti, whether it is variety of Brahmadi Devatas, they don't even exist without Brahman. Like I am giving this satsang. I can't even exist without Brahman. So my existence itself is not independent. Then how can all these doing satsang, etc., can be mine? Think. So too you are all listening. Without the Paramatma as existence in you, you can't even exist. Then how can all this listening be yours? It's a principle, huh? It's an ultimate siddhant. डोंट मिसअंडरस्टैंड और मिस यूज इट. चलो ठीक है, फिर भगवान चाहे तो सुनेंगे, नहीं तो नहीं सुनेंगे. लगता है आज भगवान सुनना नहीं चाहते हैं, चलो मैं क्लास नहीं आ रहा हूँ. दिट्स ऑल स्टूपिड ईगो. दैट इज द ईगो व्हिच misuses every opportunity for being worldly. That's a rank murkha in us. If one misuses adhyatmikata for being more worldly. And as such sentences, it is said from a different standpoint, for a different purpose of not giving value credit to anything else. That's the subject and the context is different. Don't misuse that context in this way. अच्छा, चलो, अगर मेरे अंदर सुनने वाला भगवान है तो भगवान की इच्छा है तो सुनेंगे, नहीं तो नहीं. लगता है आज उनको इच्छा नहीं है, चलो मैं जा रहा हूँ क्लास. अरे you not understood actually that. That's why the purity of heart. Who understand the subject for subject's sake, who knows what's vyavahara and sadhana. Right? Now let us chant this mantra 3 times. Om येनावृतं नित्यमिदं हि सर्वं ज्ञः कालकारो गुणी सर्वविद् यः तेनेशितं कर्म विवर्ततेह पृथ्व्यप्तेजो निलखानि चिन्त्यं येनावृतं नित्यमिदं हि सर्वं ज्ञः कालकारो गुणी सर्वविद् यः तेनेशितं कर्म विवर्ततेह पृथ्व्यप्तेजो निलखानि चिन्त्यम्. Again, येनावृतं नित्यमिदं हि सर्वं ज्ञः कालकारो गुणी सर्वविद्यः तेनेशितं कर्म विवर्ततेह पृथ्व्यप्तेजो निलखानि चिन्त्यम्. है ना? First the bodily understanding of the mantra, then the deeper understandings. His Mahima is told, and that we have to abide in. For that, we have to understand. For understanding, we have to do the Chintanam. For doing Chintanam, we need data. Data is given. So, with the given data, do the Chintanam. With the done of Chintanam done, get the understanding. With the understanding gained, abide in that understanding. About what? About Purusha. About that Paramatma. So, the data is about Paramatma. The Paramatma data, what is to be done? Chintanam. Chintana of Paramatma is to be done for what? Understanding. Understanding is for what? Abiding in that understanding. Don't think or do otherwise. That's the abidance. Like I abide by my guru's words means I don't think or I don't do otherwise. Okay? So therefore, in this entire shloka, every word is important, and to every word, the importance and empowerment is given by the last word. What is it? Chintyam. Okay? Chintya means to be contemplated till it is understood, to be practiced till we get abidance in it. That abidance should be so strong that we don't come out of it. Again, back to the old ignorance and bad habit, wrong habits. So, one ki chintyam yena avrutam nityam idam hi sarvam chintyam saha chintyam tat chintyam. So, to ज्ञः इति चिन्त्यं कालकारः इति चिन्त्यं गुणी इति चिन्त्यं सर्ववित् इति चिन्त्यं तेन कर्म ईशितम् इति चिन्त्यं तेन ईशितं कर्म विवर्तते इति चिन्त्यम्. And what is that karma? Pratyaptejo nilakhan. Chintya means contemplate, to understand, and understand to get abidance in that understanding. Like in a traffic may in Indian roads, I have to keep left too. You have to take overtake, I have to do it from right side. So that I have to listen when I go to the driving school or traffic rules teaching place. When they say it, I listen and then I contemplate, I understand. Then when I am on the road, I abide by it so that I am safe, others are safe. Now imagine if they are not known, a foreigner comes, American, and for them the rules are different. They have to travel from the right and overtake from the left. अब वो बंदे को इंडियन रूल्स नहीं पता, then he goes on going from right side. For the entire traffic coming from the other side, he is an obstruction. And he will be hit by any of the big lorry. वही जा- दिक्कत है कि नहीं? He'll have to know and abide. So too in our life, about every aspect of our life, every moment, we have to get the data, think about it, chintyam, understand and abide. Anything. If I want to be healthy also, I have to get data out as to how I have to be healthy and long living. On the data, contemplate and then understand it. Then understand, abide in that understanding that they go every day, morning, evening, 25-30 minutes walking, depending on the age. If the age is younger, along with walking, all other aerobic, anaerobic exercises can be done. If I am beyond 65-70, walking is sufficient for morning, afternoon, evening. Then food should be taken. And a heavy food, no energy, wrong way. Light food, which is energetic, right way, easily digestible. These are all the data that's given. Contemplate, understand, abide in it, remain healthy. Like everything in life, how to have a good relation with the people. There's a data. I have to listen, I have to understand. By contemplating, I have to abide in it. And to have good relation with the world, first thing, egolessness. Second, selflessness. Third, concern for others. Fourth, ready to help others. Five, accept others as they are. Six, forgive them for all their mistakes. See that? These things I have to know, I have to understand, I have to abide, and I have to practice while being abiding. When I do so, then the whole world will love me, they're around me. Opposite of it, I am egoistic, I am selfish. जो मैं कहता हूँ वही आना चाहिए. You will remain all alone. Nobody will come to you. अरे वो ऐसे ही घमंडी है, जो वो कहता है वही करना चाहता है, वो किसी की बात सुनता ही नहीं. Nobody will come to us. We are isolated. Like that in life. So too in spirituality is chintyam. So येनावृतं नित्यमिदं हि सर्वं ज्ञः कालकारो गुणी सर्वविद्यः तेनेशितं कर्म विवर्ततेह प्रत्यप्तेजो निलखानि चिन्त्यम्. I am giving you data and I am advising you to do the chintanam. Through the chintanam, get the understanding. Through the practice, get abidance. So, and that abidance gives you moksha. Like abiding in traffic rules, give me safe journey. Abidance in healthy rules, gives me health. Abidance in the financial rules, keep me sound financially. isn't it? Okay, Chintyam. It should be contemplated. Our problem is we stop at listening level. Many don't even start to listen. You and I listen, but वहां रुक जाते, छोड़ देते. इसलिए कोई भी ज्ञान हमारे अंदर गया ही नहीं. अब गया ही नहीं तो रुकेगा कहाँ? उसको जाकर रुकना है ना. वो ज्ञान ही हमें गाइड करना है. I have to live knowledge, not leave knowledge. I listen and live every day. I have to listen, understand, live and abide that knowledge. That's moksha. That's purushartha. Okay. Now add chintyam to one sentence and understand. Now we explained yesterday day before the shlokas literal meaning. Now we'll study it with the Bhashyakara's Anugraha Bhashya. Okay. So chintyam to be contemplated on the tatastha and swarupa lakshanas of the Brahman. Few of them are hinted here. They are sufficient for us to apprehend him, reach to him. If we do it seriously, sincerely, till it happens. Okay. येनावृतं नित्यमिदं हि सर्वं ज्ञः कालकारो गुणी सर्वविद्यः तेनेशितं कर्म विवर्ततेह पृथ्व्यप्तेजो निलकानि चिन्त्यम्. How many aspects of that Ishvara, Parameshwara are told here for us to contemplate? One is idam sarvam nityam avrutam. Second, jnaha. Third, kalakaraha. Fourth, guni. Fifth, sarvavit. Sixth, tena ishidam karma vartate. 6 points. On that we have to contemplate. Through the contemplation, we have to understand the presence and influence of Ishvara in all these happenings. Okay, first one. Yena iti. I am commenting on the mantra starting with the word Yena. Bhagavan Shankara says, are you ready to listen? Are you ready to understand? If yes, you are welcome. Here I am. Please, sir, continue. We are here to listen from you, to lift our intellect's thinking ability to your teaching level and try to understand what you are telling us. We are here, Jignasus. We are here, Sadhakas. Oh Lord, you bless us. You have some sublime yoga siddhis and powers. Please remove our inner routine, habitual mistakes of not being serious, sincere about spirituality. Please bless us to be serious, sincere in this endeavor. Enough of the world and worldliness. The life is oozing, time is oozing. We have recognized it. Please bless us. Do whatever is required. Make us do what is required so that we are fully into reaching that selfhood. Baki sab chhod de. Anyway, now coming to this. Yena iti, I am commenting on this mantra. Yes, what is it? Yena. Yena means Ishwarena. Yena means by him, the third case, instrumental. Ishwarena, by that Ishvara alone, Vyaptam, permeated. Idam Jagat, this entire Jagat which is in the form of Idam. Nityam means Niyamena. Niyamena. Nityam is Niyamena. Nityam means we know the meaning always. Niyamena means consistently because if he is not there, nothing in the Jagat can happen. Okay. So idam rupi jagat always avruta by that Ishvara. Isn't it? And always remember two things. Without the aham, the idam cannot be, and the aham has to exist. Therefore, sat rupi aham, aham rupi sat is the Ishvara, because of whom the entire idam is there. Idam is permeating all the idam is permeated by this aham. The entire rhythm is permeated by Sat Rupa Aham. That is Ishvara. Therefore, Ishvara is who? The Aham in me, the Sat Aham in me. With him only the entire rhythm is permeated. In the sense, without this Aham, the rhythm cannot be. Okay. Or Ishvara, if you take him as Sat Swarupa, the entire rhythm has to exist basically. That existence is borrowed by that idam from the Ishvara only. Therefore, Ishvara as Sat Swarupa is permeating the entire idam. So, do the chintana of that. Hai Avrutam means permeating. Avrutam vyaptam idam. इदम पूरा सत के अलावा नहीं हो सकता ना. आर यू seeing the whole world? Yeah. Are you seeing it as existing or non-existing? As existing. So where do you see the world existing? Everywhere. Your very existence everywhere. There, what is that permeating the idam jagata? Nothing but the pure existence. That is Ishvara. So Ishvara's Ishvaratva is by being the existence to support the existence of idam. इदम के सत्ता को सपोर्ट करने के लिए सत्ता के रूप में रहना ही ईश्वर का ईश्वरत्व. चिंत्यम. And that existence has to be me only, aham. Therefore, in me as an aham existence, the Ishvara is there. Because of which only the idam in me, whether it is the Jagrat idam or Swapna idam, is existing. So, yena Ishvarena avrutam vyaptam idam sarvam sada or niyamena. Isn't it? Nitya means niyamena. Niyamena means pakka. Without that, Ishvara, the idam cannot even exist, can't even function. Chintyam, contemplate on that. है ना? The one who visualizes idam gets attracted or averted to the idam and creates ragadvesha to the idam, gets lost in it, is ignorant, deluded person. The one who inquires about the support or substratum for the idam to exist and recognizes it to be Sat Swarupa and recognizes that Sat to be himself and identifies with it and establishes in it, he is the Mukta Purusha. The other one is deluded samsari. This one is the wise liberated. है ना? सिंपल. इदम को देखोगे फंस गए. इदम को सपोर्ट करने वाले अहम में बैठोगे तो मोक्ष. What is the whole samsara? Taking the idam as aham, forgetting the aham. Means identifying the idam, forgetting the aham. What is moksha? Giving the idam position only, knowing that the idam cannot exist without aham, knowing that aham to be Satsarupa, and knowing that Satsarupa aham as myself. Abiding in it. है ना? येनावृतम विश्वम इदम ही नित्यम. तो येन ईश्वरेण आवृतम व्याप्तम इदम जगत नित्यम नियमेन. तो येन आवृतम नित्यम idam hi. All words are commented. Yena means Ishwarena. Avrutam means Vyaptam. Idam means Jagatu. Nityam means Niyamena. देखा? इस तरह पद भाष्य कहते हैं उसको. Every pada word is being commented. So that Ishvara by whom the idam is Niyamena all the time Vyaptam permeated. Both ways. Idam cannot be without aham, therefore aham is permeating the idam. Idam is always recognized as existing, therefore the existence is supporting that the idam. That existence is Ishvara, and this existence cannot be other than me. You know? Why? Because if the existence is other than me, then I am non existent. Because the thing other than existence has to be non existent only. So if the existence is other than me, I should be non existent. But do I have that experience that I am non existent? Or do I have the experience that I exist? I have experience only that I exist. Therefore, I am that existence. In this way, from the idam, through the Ishvara, through the Satta, through the Aham, I reach. That's called meditation. Forgetting the Aham, then objectifying the Satta, then doing the projection of Rupanama on the Satta, called as idam now, getting lost in that idam with ragadvesha is the ajnana, the delusion and samsara. Become very technical, become sometimes थोड़ा टेक्निकल बनना है, सूक्ष्म बनना है. हमेशा ऊपर ऊपर सुपरफिशियल पढ़ने से कोई बात नहीं बनता. Especially spirituality में you take 10-20 years doesn't matter, but even after 20 years at least we have to become deeper in the understanding. So where we are now, lost in the idam. What we have to do? Find the Ishvara of the idam. Who is the Ishvara in the idam? The Satta. Can the Satta exist without I? No. Therefore, I am the Satta, the Ishvara, supporting that idam. Isn't it? In that way, anything I see, I reach to my own self. That's called as jnana. All the time I am lost in something other than me, upadhis, or the outer world. That is ignorance and samsara. Little subtler thought it is. Try to catch. So, yena avrutam nityamidam hi sarvam. One thing Bhagavan Shankara explained, we understood. Second one is jnaha. To this word jnaha, Shankara Bhagavan has not given bhashya. Okay, but we can understand because this word has come umpteen number of times in our other Upanishads, in this very Upanishad, earlier so many times, especially in the Sambandha Bhashya and first, second chapters. Therefore, Jnaha is pure Jnapti Sarup. है ना? So connect these two things. When it is said Yena Avrutam Nityamidami Sarvam, that is Sat Swarupa. Because Sat is the one which is permeating and supporting any Rupanama called idam. Then is this Sat Jada or Chetana? It is Chaitanya Swarupa. Therefore, he is Jnaswarupaha. Chintyam. Contemplate. Therefore, the Jnapti Swarupa and Sat Swarupa, Ishvara is the one who is permeating every nook and corner of every idam, whether it is gross in the Jagrat world, subtle in the Swapna Jagat, or the mental world. Jnaha, Jnapti Swarupaha, pure consciousness. As we told you, Satta has to be there in every nook and corner to support the existence of the object or anything. Chit has to be there at every point for becoming aware of it. Therefore, what is there is Satchit only. Satchit objectified and given name and form is the world. And that's done by the Maya, accepted by the mind. Maya is Ishvara Shakti, he does it for Leela, accepted by the mind out of its stupidity and ignorance and suffers. थोड़ा सूक्ष्म हो गया थॉट. दैट्स व्हाट इज कन्वेड हियर. यहाँ से लेकर आगे 5-6 श्लोक इस चैप्टर के, बिकॉज द उपनिषद इज कमिंग टू एंड. द श्लोकास आर वेरी सबलाइम, गुड दे आर, and in our attempt to understand them we become subtler in our understanding. So idam sarvam nityam yena avrutam, by which, by this the Ishvara Sat Swarupata is being indicated. Jnaha, by this the Chit Swarupata is indicated. Therefore, Sat Chit Swarupa is the Ishvara Swarupa. That Sat Chit Swarupa Ishvara is the one who is permeating everything. Therefore, that Sat Chit alone is reality. Then what you see in the form of idam is nothing but the Rupa Nama which cannot exist independently. मजेदार बात. नाम और रूप को हम इतना इंपॉर्टेंस देते हैं, इसलिए हम उस डेल्यूजन में फंस जाते हैं, जबकि देयर इज नथिंग कॉल्ड एज नाम रूपा इंडिपेंडेंट अदर देन लाइक द रूपा द pot, the nama the pivot pot. Can they exist without the mud, the substratum? Isn't it? Nama has no meaning at all, just it's a vocal word uttered to that rupa. Rupa is in and through it, nothing but the mud alone is there. Therefore, entire the pot is filled with mud only, means permeated by mud. Therefore, where is the pot in the mud? Nowhere. Where is the mud in the pot? Everywhere. Therefore, what is real? Pot or mud? Mud only. In the mud alone is real. The pot by shape itself is not there. How can the name be valid? That's how when you are able to see the mud in the pot, first the rupa, the pot goes away. Second, the nama, the pot becomes redundant. Understand it this way. Therefore, entire rupa nama are projections on the substrate. Use them for vyavahara, but don't involve in them so much that the substratum is forgotten. We are in that stage now that the substratum is forgotten, the kalpita rupanama is given real. What a funny thing we are doing. And we don't want to understand it. We don't want to change our ways. And we want to be freed from all misery and bondage. It's like a patient doesn't want to change his food habits, health habits, and not want to take any medicine, but still wants to be healthy. Is it possible, friends? Same in our life. Even for the Guru to teach this, till we are satisfied and convinced. बेचारा he struggles so much continuously. उनका कुछ फायदा ही नहीं है उसमें. And if you and I also serious cooperate with the Guru, then that understanding comes to us, if not today, at least in 20 years or 10 janmas. If I am not at all going to the Guru, never cooperating with him, and I am diseased, I go to doctor, cooperate with his treatment, one day I'll become healthy. I don't even approach the doctor. Then when will I become healthy? होता हूँ क्या? Isn't it? Think about all these things of ego, of upaditadatmata, of being extroverted. They were living 24 hours totally drowned in being a samsari. And know that it is not the way of evolution. And slowly pull yourself or pull ourselves away from it. Start giving time to Guru, Shastra, and Shastra Jnana. Start giving value to them. Start giving importance to them. Start living in them and reveling in them and live and revel only in them. That's what a person fully samsari to the fully jnani or mukta or anubhavi or adhyatmika one becomes. Do you want it? It is your hands. Don't want it? It is your choice. For both, it is tathastu from the Ishvara. Thank you. We'll do the remaining bhashya tomorrow of this mantra. Let us study steadily only this Upanishad as we were doing. Om, 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 Om. Om 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 Purnamada Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Parabrahmane Parabrahmane Shruti Matre Namaha Tat Sat Brahmarpanam Astu. Thank you, friends, for your wonderful patient listening. Let's study Gita, the 52nd mantra. So powerful, so beautiful. Second chapter. Come.